naughty girl today.
We're live.
We are live.
And we're sorry about Dave again. That was purely random. Just so Dave doesn't get a bit of a complex.
Stand by to launch.
Who have we got? We got Bill with Adrian, Kren, Nick McCowan, Dave, and they're all repeating themselves. Stand by to launch SDS 85. Yeah, 85 streams.
I can't believe it.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm amazed we've not been closed down, to be honest.
You guys got no better to do.
Well,
honestly.
we ain't got nothing better to do, have we?
So
No.
we're here. It's another
Apart
week.
from chase a certain puppy around the studio all day today. And after we came off the screen earlier,
This little bugger has been an absolute nightmare today.
he's actually chewed through one of the power cables.
He has. He's,
Luckily, it wasn't plugged in.
what we got? I'm catching up with everything. So, Kren's feel very sorry for himself, and Karen and Krull and Karen. Kieran. He's paranoid again. Yeah, you got to watch them Spiel chuckers. Terrible, isn't it?
I love the fact that we got a light before we even came on camera.
yeah, it's brilliant.
Yeah, keep that up.
Yeah.
Because that helps us apparently in the YouTube thingamajiggy
The
Yeah.
YouTube
stuff.
world.
The like, subscribe stuff. We never push it. I've got a button that I can press, but
Go on, press it.
no, I forget. I always forget. So we'll do that at the end anyway. You've got to deliver some value
Yeah.
before you say, "Oh, go and like and subscribe." Honest, it will be good. So we'll let them decide if they need to like and just whatever. I don't do the YouTube rubbish stuff. Right, let me refresh me.
Push
thing.
it. See, push it.
Well,
Ben says push it.
If Krems wants me to push it,
Yeah,
I've
now
got to
he's
push
put it in capitals. You're
I've
shouting
got to remember
at
where
you.
it is. See,
Push it.
I press it that often,
Ooh.
but now he's there. We've got sound effects this week and everything.
We can stop anytime we want.
The IT seems to be working.
Don't go saying that.
Don't
No,
say
because
that.
the camera up there that's going to be looking at that in a minute has been on the blink most
Yeah.
of the day, but it seems to be
And
sorting.
that's not a cable that the dog managed to buy.
No,
through.
not yet. I think
Not yet.
he's working on building a ladder. He's been a nightmare today. He's going to get uninvited from the studio if he carries on.
Yeah, so he's watching.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And there's a puddle over there.
And Kren says we're not
These two
addicted.
say it was the dog.
It was the dog.
Yeah, I'm not too
He
sure.
tipped over his water bowl. He,
Yeah,
thought
clang,
there,
clang, clang.
he thought there might
Oh,
be
that
food or something underneath it, so he literally put his head underneath it and flipped it
Yeah.
up.
Well, this week, not last week, because I forgot last week. I forgot this week as well, but she remembered.
Yeah.
We're talking about Violet Ones,
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't
Which-
remind him last week because
which
I
is
didn't know.
not our normal sort of
No, it's
electroplay fare.
no.
But it's good. We're not addicted. She's addicted.
We're addicted.
She's addicted. So yeah, we're going to talk about Violet Ones, which is another form of electroplay.
Yeah, it's fun.
However, don't do them at the same time. Don't
No.
do your E-stim
No.
with your Violet Wand.
Not if you ever want to use your E-stim box again.
Yeah, because these things kick out a lot of EMF radiation and they will fry your E-stim control box.
Sorry, just watching.
The dog is now wrapped in a blanket and he's walking around like a ghost.
Because he's trying to hide his
He's
treatment.
lost the plot.
He's got the blanket off
Yeah.
of my chair.
I know at least one person who's used an electrostim Axis with a Violet Wand, and luckily electrostim repaired it for him, which is quite good customer service,
Yeah.
isn't it?
I wonder
Because
if
that
he-
was self-induced.
Was he honest though?
He said he was honest when they went.
Was
okay,
it honest then? You
Don't
know,
do it again. So yeah, don't mix this stuff with E-stim.
No.
same with if you've got a pacemaker,
Yeah.
an insulin pump,
Smartwatch.
anything like that,
Yeah.
smartwatch.
Keep anything electronic well away from these, especially vintage and mechanical ones.
Ooh.
The solid state ones, which we're going to cover as well, they don't kick out as much
No.
juice.
But
But
they
these
can
things
still
are
be- yeah.
a nightmare. Lorexia Snize. I just made the sizable investment. I bought all sizes of the Jet Set Willy and the Electro Ring system. I'm a private person, but those input costs peer-to-peer to you for almost half the price of the kit. Yeah. Worst thing we ever did as a country is come out of the EU.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which has
definitely.
created a lot of problems for people in the EU because you're now importing into the EU, which
Yeah.
is a nightmare. But just be thankful you're not in America ordering from China at the moment because, you know, they're 145. Well, that might have dropped recently. It's hard to keep track.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But yeah, customs fees and tariffs are an absolute nightmare. But as Kren said, really good kit. But yeah, I feel for you. We've got no control about that. E-stim system's got no control about that. That's what governments do. They take money away from you at every
They
opportunity.
do.
Bless their cotton
With
socks.
a smile on their faces.
Yeah, with a smile on their faces. Well, I guarantee Larix's wasn't smiling.
No, the government do.
No, I know, but yeah, it's us a lot that end up not smiling because you don't see the benefits of it either. So, two main types of Violet One: solid state, which is the newer stuff, and mechanical. So we're going to start with the lovely Sub'r is going to show you a solid state wand. Here's one she prepared earlier. Yeah, these are often white.
Yeah, they're always white, aren't they?
A lot of them are retailed as beauty therapy things. So I don't know what you'd use one of these for beauty. You can buy little kits, and they come with glass electrodes like that. That you push in. And one thing with these electrodes is push in straight.
But don't force it in.
And pull out straight. Don't twist. Because the metal collets on the end are held on with plaster of Paris, which is not the strongest of material. And twisting will break it, and you'll end up with the noble gas disappearing. Most of those little sets will come with 4 electrodes.
You got your
glass electrodes. Mushroom.
Yeah.
And just like E-stim, the larger the electrode, the softer the feel.
Yeah.
So have we got the other little one, the really small one? So that is going to feel really intense compared with the mushroom.
Yeah.
So just like an E-stim electrode, a large one, smooth ride, small one, sharp and prickly.
And this is Sub'r's favourite.
You'll get a comb, which she adores.
I love it.
What else you get?
And you get
a little teardrop thing.
Yeah, which is also nice.
Yeah, so they all feel different.
They all feel good in their own way.
Yeah. Some. Well, you all have your preferences, don't you?
Yes.
Right, here we go. Chat froze. So, Kren, good investment, feel your pain. Kren, I want to buy a second-hand camera and lens from a friend in the Netherlands. My custom charge was 60% of what was due to pay. We ended up sending it back. That is shocking.
Yeah.
That is absolutely shocking. I mean, as far as customs fees goes, that's taking the mickey.
It is.
I mean, international orders have VAT removed, which, depending on your country, can vary. In the UK, it's 20%. So you buy something from the UK to Netherlands, for instance, you pay 20% less than someone in the UK.
Yeah.
So your customs fee should, in theory, be your own customs VAT, which is 20%, I believe, not 60%. You know, that's just
it's the fact that he went over there, collected it in person, and didn't have to pay anything. But because they can't get you for that.
It makes no sense at all.
Yeah.
Obviously, not possibly some of this, although it's still getting, when the charge itself balance too much. Yeah, I mean, something like the Rixis, you're buying a complete set. I mean, I'm not going to ask the number, but that's a lot of money. It probably would be cheaper to get an EasyJet flight and go and pick the stuff up and fly it back, which is ridiculous.
Ridiculous, isn't it?
Absolutely crazy. They will last the lifetime if properly cared for, but I wonder if the E-stim tubes inside the connections will stand up to 120 C2 bar pressure, the sterilizer. The solid metal electrode should be absolutely fine.
I was going to say they should be fine.
Absolutely fine. It's aluminium. No problem at 120 degrees C whatsoever. Would you believe it? I told you that the small concave one was meant for the eyeballs. Don't try it. Yeah, they all have a medical background, as you'll see with this one when we open it up.
Yeah.
It's all quack science. Violet ones or violet rays, when they first came out, was supposed to be the miracle cure for everything.
Oh yeah, it started as quack medicine.
Because it was electricity, and we're used to candles and stuff, and it's dead good. But yeah, most of it's complete rubbish.
Yeah.
However, there are some benefits to use it. One of the things is the smell I love of these, and that's ozone. When you're using it, the sparks create ozone, O3.
Yeah.
And that is a sterilising agent, and that cleans things. So the electrodes are pretty much self-sterilising as you're using them because of the UV that they produce and the ozone as well. But when you're using stuff like this, do it in a well-ventilated room, because high concentrations of ozone, some people don't get on with that.
No, they don't.
So Dave didn't pay anything from his Coyote.
Yeah, but when you ordered it from China, they would have charged you UK VAT because they've got a reciprocal scheme where you pay the VAT up front and they will then send it to the UK government. But what that means is you don't get any customs fees.
Yeah.
And it's the same when you're in the EU. If you're ordering from eBay in the UK, eBay will charge you your local VAT.
Depending on how much.
It's got to be under £157, I think.
Yeah.
That classes what's called the IOSS scheme, the Internet One-Stop Shop. So you'll pay your VAT up front and you won't have any customs fees.
Yeah.
So if you are looking for stuff,
slightly cheaper.
It works out cheaper because you're not paying the admin fee that they put on top.
And it should come through quicker because it's not having to go through customs.
Jet Set Willy electrodes are delivered with the E-stim rubber tubes inside the metal tubes. I see what you mean. Our electrodes, yeah.
Yeah.
Conductive rubber is conductive silicon. Yeah, that's good to 300 degrees. So you should have no problems at all with that. So you're going to be the first person that we know that's been using an autoclave on them.
Yeah.
So that'll be really interesting.
Yeah, so keep
So
us
yeah,
updated
keep
on
us
that.
updated. But because it's silicon, not rubber,
Yeah.
it's a high temperature material. You should be absolutely fine. So that's interesting. So he's bought a load of our stuff. Now I feel really bad that he's got a massive customs
He
fee.
did say jet set,
Yeah.
the
No,
whole,
I-
the
I-
whole
I
set.
got-
You just saw the E-stim system.
Yeah, I see.
Rings.
And then rings. I thought it was the electro rings.
Well, yeah, no, when you were talking
Right,
about the
yeah.
cleaning, I thought electro rings for the actual customs.
International shipping and customs fees are an absolute nightmare.
Yeah.
And they do our heading, and they certainly do everyone else's heading.
They do.
It just makes buying things from abroad so much more expensive and difficult. And a lot of it's protectionism, where you're trying to protect your own market. But if your own market is not making the thing that you're after, you've got to buy it from abroad, haven't you? That's the nature of the beast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want it, you got to get it.
But the government get their money either way.
Yeah, right, back to violet ones. So those solid state ones,
Yeah.
a good one, like, if you want to hold the box up with that.
Can you?
Darson Val is the maker of this one. And these are sold by a guy called Electrowolf at BBB in the UK. And they're a decent starter unit.
Yeah.
They produce up to about 20,000 volts maximum. So they're on the gentle end of the scale.
The more beginning side.
Yeah, for beginners, they're ideal.
Yeah.
The glass in the electrodes is a lot thicker than vintage stuff, so
It
they're
is.
a lot safer. And they're not going to scare you crapless, really, the first time you use it. Because
Yeah.
one thing we like when we take this to a club is we like to scare the swingers, because it's a hell of a thing to watch. You've got the light show, you've got the ozone, you've got the crackling and the noise, and you've got earth squeal on the way. And when people say, you know, what's that? And is that how much electricity is
Yeah.
that? That thing kicks out up to 50,000 volts,
How much does the solids?
and that's 20,000. So this thing is a beast compared with that. So mechanical ones are really, really good. Beginner ones are okay. One of the benefits of the beginner ones, though, is you can use them constantly. You don't have to let them cool down.
Yeah.
Mechanical ones have wax in the coils,
So there's a
and you don't
maximum.
want to melt that and let it run out. So you can use that for about 10 minutes, and then you've got to leave it for 10 minutes. So swings and roundabouts with it.
Yeah. Okay, so I can't pronounce the lyrics. It's his full name.
Yeah, the Richie
Using
Snides.
alkaline cleaning fluid
Yeah,
in the
Fusion
ultrasound
on the
before
ultrasound.
sterilising. That
Yeah.
shouldn't be an issue.
shouldn't be an issue at all, no.
And Cren, it's not terrible when you get hit with customs charges. It's when you get the handling fee. Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
that's the annoying
And then
thing.
you get VAT on top of the handling fee.
Yeah.
And they usually add another
Which is
fee on top for
ridiculous.
somehow. But yeah, it is ridiculous.
Recent order from the US, approximately 164 euros, only sent me back 21 import costs, so far less than we import from across the canal. It's
Yeah, it's
Swings and
ridiculous.
it is
roundabouts.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
I think some of it is, I don't think the customs people stop everything.
No.
Or, you know, they can either be anal or they can just let things slide. I don't, you catch them on a bad day.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had packages that we've sent to Europe that have come back with a little sticker on saying incorrect paperwork, and it's not, because you'll send it out again and it
And
gets
it'll go
straight
through.
through.
Yeah.
So there's the human element with it, and that's one of the
Yeah.
things that is a problem. And that was charged by customs. Yeah, it's just, and there's different rates for different countries as well, which is,
Yeah.
I can't get my head around it. And if you're living in America, you know, it's a nightmare at the moment with what's
imagine.
going on. So yeah, nice, cheap. I think that's about 80 quid's worth on the end.
Yeah, 80, 90 pounds.
80 or 90 pounds. Yeah, I've forgotten how much it was. We've had that quite a bit of time now.
Yeah, how much is
And this we bought about 10 years ago,
It's going on for
Yeah.
10 years
and it was
now.
£850
They've now
then.
gone up to about
Probably double that now.
£1,500.
Yeah, I reckon.
It keeps
Yeah.
getting hold of them now.
Yeah.
isn't
Yeah, it is.
So-
And if you're buying a second-hand violet wand, don't just get one off eBay or you know, antique shop.
Go to a proper...
Go to a company that's overhauled it, because they will change the wiring, they'll bring it up to safety standards, they'll change the capacitors in it, and you're not going to fry yourself, basically. If you live in America, it's a nightmare at the moment. I can stop there, don't need to mention customers. Yeah.
Grin.
Yeah, see where he's coming from. We don't do politics here.
No.
No, no matter
Yeah.
what we're thinking.
He does when he gets his sort of, yeah.
So yeah, when we walk around the club,
Yeah, he made this sign.
we got this little sign on the side, which is danger high voltage. And you might see it a little bit better in the middle. Should we get the overhead cam?
Hey, Dragon.
Hi, Dragon.
Hello. Oh God, I forgot to do this now. There you go.
Yay.
Overhead cam. So danger violet wand.
There you go. That's his sign
voltage.
that he made.
And that's me and Sub'r on that.
Yeah.
Sub'r's ready.
That's Sub'r.
Oh, is that right? Yeah. Yeah, okay. So we have a little safety strap on this because I'm paranoid of the latches failing and all the glass landing on the floor. So do you want to open that now? Nice and slowly.
Yeah.
This is going to be upside down for you, but it's the only way we can do it so we can see what we're doing and talking about.
Okay.
So there you go. Keep yourself to electronics away from violet ones. Mobile phones and other sensitive electronics get fried. Yeah.
Yeah, they will get fried.
Watches, get them off.
Yeah.
Mobile phones, don't use it if you've got
Even your car key.
Yeah, don't use it if you've got a pacemaker or anything
insulin
like that.
pump, anything like that.
So this is from 1947.
Wow.
And it's a French bit of kit, but I'm not going to hold that against it.
No, it's even got...
So we've got the original doctor's manual with all the different treatments and procedures. And at the back, there's a catalogue of electrodes. So really, really nice. So that's 1947. One of the beauties of this is all these electrodes had a medical use. How do you film the violet ones then? Because you definitely have seen them in videos. They use lenses and zoom in. Yeah, don't use your... I mean, we've used our studio camera to film a bit of violet one play. And we've kept the camera about 1.5 meters away from the subject.
Yeah.
And what's going on there.
Okay.
And that's okay. You can use it, but don't have them near. Because one of the things you can use in this is reverse body contact cables, where instead of having the violet one being live and then generating an arc to a subject, you actually wire the person into the violet one so they become live. So they're live 50,000 volts, and then you approach them with an electrode and it will arc from them to the electrode.
Like, literally, just run it over the
so it's back to front. And that's fun because you can have more than one person
we've had
using
like
electrodes.
5 or 6 people linked up.
Yeah, although whatever you do, don't touch that person.
Do not touch them.
With the skin.
Because you get the belt.
Yeah.
Because then it really hurts.
Yeah.
So let's go back to that little close-up camera.
Okay.
We'll open that up again so people
So
can see
low
you.
resistance knife. That's your set of glass electrodes.
Yeah.
Very complete.
And a lot of fun and circle of friends. So some of the little electrodes we've got in here then, that's one of our Christmas ones.
Yeah.
Now all these electrodes have what's called a spark gap in the glass part. You've got lots of metal beads, a glass bead or two, and then metal beads. Now spark gaps are incredibly important with violet ones because a low voltage current, i.e. mains electricity, can't jump a spark. It can't jump a gap. Okay, so having a spark gap in there means you're going to get a beautiful blue little spark as you're playing. But if something goes wrong with your unit and you get mains electricity going to the end of your violet wand, it can't jump that gap and electrocute you. Yeah. So all your electrodes need to have a spark gap. Some electrodes will have them internally and you not see them. I don't like those. I like to be able to see the spark. If you see the spark, you know it's safe. A, you know it's on.
Yeah.
And B, you know you've got that gap, so you're not going to get that.
Security, isn't
Yeah.
it, really?
Okay, so,
And the inverse square law, the change you drop with the square of the distance rather than a linear rate. So you don't want anything close. Yeah, but it drops off quickly. Yeah, and you see that with an electrode. So as you move, you'll get nothing. And then it'll start a really dim glow, and then it will really glow, and then you'll get a zap.
Yeah.
And you get a spark coming off it. So distance makes a massive thing. We say, when we're playing, 1.5 meters. Yeah, some people, you could go closer, but is it worth damaging your watch or your phone?
Not really.
Keep a distance. And if you're playing, you don't really need those electronics near you anyway.
No, you don't.
But that's the one I normally end up forgetting to the last minute,
It's like,
is the watch.
take your watch off.
Get it. Right, moving back.
Hang on, Dragon said something.
Dragon said something. Okay.
Yeah, he got the trembler.
You get a trembler. Ooh, I like trembler. We really need one of those
Belty
belty things.
with it because it's using it sitting.
It's pretty hard, yeah. Those belt things, some companies make them. They are a good investment because you just hands-free then, and it just does its own little thing.
Yeah.
So what else we got in here then?
Ooh.
Let's go back to the camera. So we got little fun ones.
Christmas.
The fun ones we got from Master Wolf at BBB, didn't we?
Yeah, there's a guy called Master Wolf. He trades at BBB and he makes electrodes. like this one here, he will only make for ex-squaddies, ex-forces, and you've got red poppies inside, a couple of skulls and red poppies, and then handmade barbed wire around the outside. Really intense, but it looks amazing when you use it as well. And that's one of the things about Violet One
Like
Play.
they do some quite long zaps.
Violet One Play, you get to see some really, really cool stuff.
Yeah, like unlike the E-stim stuff where it's all inside, you can't really see anything.
Yeah, Violet One
So that-
Play,
Violet
it's
One-
cool to watch.
I don't know
it's
if
a
you're
lot
going to be able to
more-
see
You get to see all the pretty colours.
the skulls and the poppies in that.
And is there 3 different main sorts of gas?
There's, I think, 5 noble gases, and depending on the gas you've got in your electrodes, it'll glow a different colour.
Yeah,
It's
so it could
basically
be-
neon
Yeah.
signs.
So it's guessing which one's which.
Yeah. So this is a reverse
We've had a
body contact
lots
cable.
of fun with that.
Okay. This end has a spark gap, and that gets plugged into your wand. This end, somebody holds in their hand, and that makes them live.
You do not let go.
So yeah, do not let go while the thing's switched on. And that's amazing because you can go up to someone with an electrode and it will glow, and then you get the spark. You can use pizza cutters, anything metal you can use, and that it's a really fun way of playing using the body contact cable.
Dave thinks I need a higher seat.
She doesn't. Yeah, could you see her over the top
just-
there?
I'm quite happy
Yeah,
down here, thank you. So I just,
It's one of the problems with this
Yeah.
is trying to be able to show it all. And she's not the tallest anyway.
And we can't switch it on because it will literally
It will
camera
take all
equipment.
this kit out.
Yeah.
So this is our control unit. It's got 2 mains voltages you can use, so 120 and 230. You've got 2 different condensers inside, which are the coils and the capacitors. So one's, think, shocky shocky ow ow, and the other one's shocky shocky. So one's really rough.
Shocky, shocky, wow, wow.
Yeah.
Zap,
Shocky shocky ow ow and shocky shocky wow wow.
Zap, wow.
But that is really, really cool because it gives you that functionality. But it's also quite unusual because it's got 2 wands.
Yeah.
Apparently I should start saying, what? No E-stim?
What? No, yeah, I know. It's like, well, what are we doing? Well, it's electroplay.
Well,
Dragon has
this
said
is
the person
other
that
side
cannot
of
spell.
yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the person.
Yeah, that's it.
That's the wolf.
So yeah, the beauty of this stuff is you can use 2. So you can either do 2 different people or use 2 on one person, and that's really handy.
Yeah, but because of its age, you can only really play for 10 or 15
Yeah,
minutes.
10 minutes,
Because of is it the wax?
and then we'll slowly let's do that. See,
That's
you
it.
can
You
see
see
Joe
Joe
again.
now.
Spoil sport.
I know.
Back.
I know. Let's come back and go that. There we go. So yeah, it's really, really nice, really, really intense. And one of the things that you might have clocked
See, he's going back again.
is these little hexagon yellow things
Which had been designed.
that we designed and
Yeah.
made because there's nothing worse than putting your Violet One down and having it roll off your table and hit the floor.
That's
So
what you're doing with the body
Yeah.
contact cable.
the body contact cable, when it goes in, you don't
Goes on
hold
the-
that at all.
No, that goes on the floor.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
for instance, Joe would be live. That would be on the floor. Jet would be the best place to put it because it ain't going to fall off the
Yeah,
floor.
and we'd be
No.
running
Yeah.
electrodes.
But those are quite handy because it stops things rolling.
Yeah.
And this
look.
kit ain't cheap.
Larissa said when you do get a second-hand kit,
Yeah.
electrodes might need to have their spark gaps.
Gently reactivated. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can get carbon tracks build up inside the electrodes, and that basically will bridge the spark gap.
Yeah.
So if you've got something with a visual spark gap, look at it, give it the Mark 1 eyeball, and get it serviced, because there are people that can pull these apart, clean them up and put them back together. And stuff like these don't have a noble gas in. They're just designed to get the electricity from here to here. So this doesn't glow. This just, you see the spark gap and that's all you're
Yeah.
going to see. The other old electrodes that are filled with a noble gas, these will glow like a neon sign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you get the sparks going off. So a mushroom like that is going to be really, really soft and very gentle because it's a big surface area. Something like the fulginator, which
It's
is
going
this
to be
little bugger.
very intense.
This has got a tungsten needle on the end and all the energy is delivered from that needle. The medical use for this was burning out warts.
Nice.
Painful. This can be used for branding if you're into that sort of thing. It's that powerful and very hurty ow
Well, we have had a submissive that,
that maxed it out,
yeah,
which was quite impressive.
yeah.
Her favourite is the comb.
Yeah, because we've got a comb in this one as well.
Yeah, we've got a comb in this one.
Just different comb.
Our comb actually has a curve to it. So you can see that there. And it is literally, as its name suggests, for the head. And she melts.
It's because your scalp is loaded with nerve endings.
Yeah.
So it feels quite
It's
nice.
really, really nice, isn't it? You love it.
I do.
And yeah, with second-hand kit, get it looked at.
Yes.
Yeah.
Buy it from a reputable retailer. Don't just go into an antique shop and go, oh, having that.
No.
Because you may live to regret it, or
if you do,
not live to regret it.
Or if you do, take it to a reputable.
Yeah.
Get it checked out, because it's electrics, and it's a lot of electrics.
Yeah.
But as long as you've got that spark gap, you're not going to get mains electricity coming through.
Okay.
Seen the spots before, but not on the head. Oh, normally you can use them anywhere. The only place you shouldn't use a violet wand is on the eyeballs.
Yeah.
Because of the UV light that kicks out. On the cheeks, the neck, the back of the neck is really sensitive. Shoulders, the other areas are really, really good.
Further down. Further down.
But that she finds very relaxing to actually go through her hair.
She finds a tangle.
Other areas of the body will use different electrodes for different effects.
Yeah. Just she doesn't like it so much if you find a tangle.
No, yeah, you got to watch out for them tangles.
Yeah.
Terrible. I'm not very good a hairdresser.
It's terrible.
Yeah, I'm not very good gynecologist, but I'll have a look for it. I don't mind helping out.
Yeah.
So yeah, these are really, really good.
They are.
These are incredible. The ancient, they don't build them like this anymore, unfortunately.
No, it's just a shame that the playtime is limited.
There's only one company making mechanical violet wands now in America, and they're called ETP. But if you mention that it's going to be used as a violet wand, they won't sell you one. They're used for leak tests on tanks and also for testing neon signs. They're not interested that it's being used erotically. It's just one of their weird things. And we tried buying one, and it turned out that the postage from America was 1.5 times the cost of the wand. The wand was 350 quid, and it would have been 480 quid shipping.
Get it here.
Yeah.
It's like, what? I think they were just trying to stop selling them.
Yeah,
abroad.
And this was years ago.
When the
Yeah.
postage is more than the item.
Absolutely crazy. But you can have a lot of fun with
You
these.
can.
It is electroplay. It's a completely different type of electroplay. E-stim is amazing.
Yeah.
But if you go to a club and you're putting on a show, there's not a lot to see.
No, there isn't.
There's a bit of this, but there's not a lot to see. Whereas you take one of these to a club,
You've got a lot
you've
to
got a
show.
crowd, and they're all like, whoa, what is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's audio, it's visual, and you can smell the ozone. It's quite amazing. So should we do some questions? Because we have got some questions this
We
week.
have got some questions.
Whoop, whoop. Some we've been
Are you sure?
asked, some we picked up from Reddit,
Yeah.
and some I don't know where the rest have come from, but let's do it.
They're ended up in the bowl.
I'm going to do my little button thing. We've got a button for that. We've got to try and remember where these went.
I know.
So what's the first question then?
Right. Can I use more than one control box at a time? Yeah, of course
We've
you
had that
can.
before, haven't we?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've had that a few
Especially if
times.
you're doing nipple
Yeah.
play.
Yeah, and if you ask Pren, you can use like 8.
It can actually
Yeah.
work out
Or
a lot
more.
safer for
Yep.
you. So
That's a really good point. If you're doing nipple play and you haven't got box with isolated channels, use 2 boxes.
Yeah.
They're then isolated.
Yeah.
So you could use 2 pebbles.
Yeah.
Don't use 1 pebble because it's not isolated. But if you use 1 channel from 1 pebble,
Yeah.
1 channel from another pebble,
Then it's completely
It's actually-
isolated from each
Yeah,
other.
it's a lot more safe for you.
so that's a really good thing.
Yeah.
It can get messy with cables though.
You can. Okay.
Another question, we're flying through.
On your Stairway to Heaven electrode, can I remove the loops and use them on their own? Yes, of course you can.
We've got one
But just be careful when you're dismantling it so you don't stretch the rubber too much.
Yeah.
Because it can actually break down the carbon.
But,
So,
yeah.
but just be very careful. But yes, you can. You can put them back in any of the holes, whatever suits you
yeah,
best.
you can add more loops to it.
Yeah.
You can actually have one long piece of
Here
rubber
is
and
one I literally prepared earlier.
Yeah, here's one off her desk. So that's the XL Stairway to
Yeah.
Heaven, and it's a plastic holder with conductive rubber loops.
Yeah.
So you can take them out and use them on their own.
Just because we put them in that way
Yeah,
doesn't
you-
mean you have to.
On these ones, you've got
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 holes to choose from,
Yeah.
and you can put them anywhere. The regular size one, you've only got 5 holes, but again, you can load them all at this end, load them at that end, or spread them out. So that's what you get
Yeah.
with rubber loops fitted.
Yeah.
So buying one of these is actually a good way to buy rubber loops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quite cost effective. Use them like that, which is great as a splint. But yeah, you can use them on their own. I've got to put these back over there now.
Yeah.
So if I put them on the floor, Ollie's going to eat them.
Oh, crumbs, yes. Do not
Yes.
put them on the floor. Yeah, Emma's thinking that because he's just whipped the bed.
Poor Emma.
Right.
Emma.
Can you recommend a good anal electrode?
I can recommend several.
Depends on the size that you
Yeah,
want.
and it also depends on your experience as well. I mean, if you're
Yeah.
new, then I'd recommend something like the small flow. And then maybe the E-bead. That's quite a small one as well.
Which over here, congrats to Stunt Cock and refreshing his plumage. He's looking all ready for another charity shaving event.
Yeah, we've been telling you that for,
Yeah.
I am going to
for
be
months,
doing.
actually.
I am going to be doing that again in
Yeah.
November.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think...
I might have to have a trim before then.
Yeah.
I think Santa Claus will take your beard before then. If,
Well, that was it. I mean, they had a panic attack because I don't know who they got to stand in for Santa Claus last year because
Yeah.
it wasn't me.
Yeah. But I'd also recommend the Mona as well if you got...
Shipping has changed crazy from the US. Found out we're trying to get the Venus 2K. Yeah, it's a nightmare. It's a shame there's nowhere in Europe that makes something like the Venus.
Yeah.
You've got the Trembler in the UK, but again, importing into the EU is a nightmare unless you manage to find somewhere that stocks it in the EU, and then obviously you're just paying your shopping, but you're going to find it's going to cost more over there. I do just but like 3 or something at a time. He raves about it all the time. Yeah, that'll be control boxes. I think Kren's had like 8.
Yes.
That's like mad.
That is mad. That's
He
like...
must have a knob like that.
Imagine the cables as well.
Wait, imagine how big your
Yeah.
knob's going to be for
Well,
all that real
yeah.
estate.
Yeah.
don't think it's all in one spot.
I would probably
like
not.
that.
But yeah,
I think it's safe to say
my
it's
input
spread over.
on the anal stuff, exactly what Dave just said.
The Mona.
Mona.
Is really good, but if you can't handle anything that big, small flow or the flange
Yeah.
are solid options. Electrostim do some conductive rubber plugs. They're nice as well,
Yeah.
but they're not as strong as the metal stuff because obviously the resistance is higher. So there's a lot of cred to cover. So yeah, as I said, real estate.
Yeah.
You need some real estate. Yeah, I'm the same boat as you, cred. Well, I did find the official import of the Venus 2K in the UK, but of course that was after we ordered the Trembler, which I ordered from Finland, by the way. Came out €200 cheaper. Yeah, I mean that's a massive saving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheers.
And hopefully one day the EU accepts the UK back again. But
Yeah.
that's not going to be for a long time because we're a bunch of idiots.
Yep.
We are. We've shot ourselves in the foot big
We
style.
have.
Yeah, so yeah, anything from Electrostim.
Dave's
Yeah.
on the TV again.
Not
Yeah.
now, Dean.
He is. But he come up with a good
did.
Mona. Happy with that.
Right. Can you suggest a good starter control box?
Ooh.
So it depends if you're on a
Yes.
budget
Yeah.
or not. If you're on a budget, I'd recommend the Helix from
Yeah.
Electrostim.
If you're not on such a budget but you want a starter box, then the Pebble's a good starter.
Yeah, because the Helix has only got one
channel.
One channel.
Yeah.
As the Pebble has got 2. So you've got more room
You've got
to
a little
grow.
bit of leeway
Yeah.
to
Yep.
play with the
From
Pebble.
Electrostim, you got the EM60 Flick. That's a nice cheap box.
Yeah.
Rechargeable battery, that sort of thing. Helix is another one I'd strongly suggest.
Yeah.
That packs a belt, especially when you're wired up to that wire machine.
Yeah.
It really kicks your knackers into next week.
Well, especially when somebody has it on the highest setting
Yeah.
going as well.
Yeah. The Coyote, a lot of people recommend for beginners. I don't.
No, especially the app.
It's complicated
That's
to use.
why I don't recommend
Yeah.
it. Yeah, it's a great little control box. It's packed full of features.
Yeah.
It's light. It's small. It's great. But you've got to use the app to get the most out of it, or something like X Toys.
Well, I
And
don't
for a
think you
beginner,
really can.
no, for a
use
beginner,
it.
it's really confusing.
Yeah.
So I would stick with Pebble, Helix,
Helix.
EM60
Yeah.
Yeah.
on a budget. A Coyote, if you want to go for it. But there's going to be a lot of learning involved
Yeah.
with that app. And if you're a beginner to E-stim, it's confusing
It
enough
can
as
be
it
very
is.
daunting as well.
Yeah, or at least try to figure out the import stuff in a decent way. If there were just decent trade agreements with the UK, EU, that'd be fine. But the EU is being pissy about you guys leaving.
To
Yeah,
be
and I
fair,
don't blame them.
It was probably the way we left.
Yeah.
We didn't leave amicably.
No.
You know, the incumbents at the time were a bunch of idiots. There you go. From personal experience, I was always recommend E-stim now just because of their warranty and customer service levels. They're exceptionally good and very responsive. Yeah, E-stim Systems, got a lot of time for them. Their kit is really good.
And their customer service is fantastic as well.
We've been down to see them, I think 3 times now. She's pressed the button.
She has.
On one of the big machines. So you may have a limited edition Joanne Mona, because that's what they were making at the time. If you're buying something for a couple £100, having a solid customer service contract behind it is a lot more reassuring than chancing your arm. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
And Dave has got a new Coyote 3.
Yeah, and he's determined to learn it.
He's swimming uphill at the moment, upstream.
He's having fun. He's having fun with it.
It's a good little box, but there's a steep learning curve to it.
Yeah. It's not as easy as just turning a few dials.
No, it is.
The EU also wasn't really working with you guys either. This kind of stuff goes well. It does, but we got everything we deserved, I think, in the end, because we could have been a little bit more amicable. There was a lot of personalities involved. It was very personality driven.
Yeah.
And yeah, both sides got the ante, and it was 2 sides of a fence. But there you go. We are where we are, and hopefully we'll be back on your side of the fence soon.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed, but it ain't going to be soon, I don't think.
No.
So yeah.
Right, off politics. Next question.
Yeah, off politics. That worked well, that.
What is your favourite way to use your violet wand?
Well, I think we've already established that Sub'r loves the comb.
I do.
I find screaming maniacally while zapping her is my favourite way of using it. Yeah, the reverse body contact play is amazing.
Lots of fun.
That's where I'll wire her up and make her live, and then I'll use all sorts of different things in lots of different places.
Yeah.
And it's really, really good.
The only downside is when we did that in a dark room.
Yeah.
And you can't see where the skin is to the actual electrode, and you end up touching the skin by accident. It's rather painful.
The violet one, you've got to keep a gap.
You've got to keep it moving.
If you touch the electrode to the person, you're not really going to feel anything. You need that gap to generate the arc, the spark. So in a dark room, it's like, oh, there it is. And then you can ow. Don't use glass electrodes as insertables.
No.
For the obvious reason, especially the vintage stuff, because it's very thin glass. It's very brittle. The modern stuff's a lot thicker, but I still would not recommend doing it.
No.
There are people that make acrylic electrodes specifically for insertables. So if you're going to go down that route, that's what you need to do.
Yeah.
And they're very cleverly designed so that the acrylic keeps that spark gap, and you still get the sensations internally. Because if you just use one of these, you wouldn't feel anything.
Okay, so Dragon's recommending Dave to have a chat with someone on our Discord channel called Rubber Doomed?
Rubber Doomed, yeah. I know of him, yeah. There's lots of very knowledgeable people, and there's a whole section on the Discord channel, forum, whatever they're called.
They will help.
Yeah. I'm being called for dinner. I'm still curious if you've already tried the 2B clamp. Not yet. We've had half of it made. We've got to do the rest of it. We've just been absolutely flat out. But yeah, we're going to get that sorted out, put it on an arm, and have a play with it and show it.
Apparently, Dave's having problems getting onto Discord.
Sorry, Dave.
Sorry, Dave.
Get in touch with us. Let us know your Discord username,
and we'll have a look.
See if there's anything in the logs. That's a problem that can help you out, possibly. There you go. I have it, but not sure how to find other stimmers. Yeah, I think there's 5 Discord servers that we know of. Stim Station, ours, and 2 or 3 other ones that are entirely focused on E-stim, but there's other places that have sections that are on E-stim. But yeah, ours is quite a good one. It's quite popular, and there's lots of people on it.
Yeah.
Well, I'll get you onto Joanne's Discord. And by Lorixius, thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
Hopefully see you next week. Yeah. What I like about this is everyone's so friendly.
Roy Hat, afternoon.
Roy Hat, afternoon. Where have you been?
Where have you been?
Welcome.
Evening.
Yeah. We've been talking about violet wands today.
Yeah.
So,
and politics.
Yeah, if you've just arrived, you missed us talking about this.
All I can see is a black box.
I know. I'm teasing. Shush. I'll go to that bit. Yeah, so our vintage violet wand that's got electrodes all over the desk now that we need to put away. We'll do that, so we'll stop Joanne hiding. She's hiding behind
Darn it.
Yeah, shame, innit? So yeah, that's our violet wand kit.
Yeah.
We've got some other electrodes that I forgot to bring. just before they say it, because they've been saying it all day.
Yeah.
One of which is a
My
big
favourite.
ostrich feather
Yeah.
that's got carbon fibre weaved through it. And that, you tickle people with it and you'll get sparks like this big. It's incredible. But it feels quite nice, doesn't it?
It does.
I have that on good authority. It's not the sort of thing you can do to yourself because it's massive. We'll check it back from the start. Yep. I was wondering, have you guys tried hard-stim before? I have used it once now with a woman halfway across the world, controlled my 312, and it was great. We don't really do remote play.
No, we don't.
Because there's like, take your pick.
Yeah.
There's fun to be had closer to
Yeah.
home. I've not really used hard-stim. We've looked at it,
But we've never really
but we don't
used
really do
it,
it. And we don't
have we?
really do audio stimming either.
No.
And
No.
we got told off by E-stim systems
Yeah, we
for
did.
saying
Yeah,
that.
we've been told we need to give
We
it
need
a
to
try.
do more, but yeah.
We've been putting the E-stim naughty
I
corner.
know, E-stim naughty corner. It's a bit of a faff.
Yeah.
You know, it's another thing to connect and
Yeah.
balancing levels and all the rest of
Problem
it.
is,
I just like getting the stuff out and
Yeah.
starting.
you find what works for you and
Yeah.
what you enjoy.
That's it.
Yeah.
And it's easy to stick with that than
Yeah,
to experiment with new
Once
stuff.
you found the winning formula,
Yeah.
you stick with it.
and when you're really busy people,
Yeah, all three of us find that the inbuilt routines in the control boxes
Yeah. Are enough.
are enough
yeah,
to accomplish the desired outcome.
Yeah.
Yeah, outcome. Get it?
Literally.
Literally.
yeah,
There you go. And then, yeah, Dragon only uses audio stim. There's a lot of people in the same boat as you. You know,
Yeah.
there's two camps. There's
Yeah.
the audio stim, stereo stim, and there's the pulse-based people that just sit there.
Yeah.
Probably lazy.
We're not lazy.
I am. Yeah, we are. You just wire up and switch the box on the way you go.
no, it's a case of right. We've got 5 minutes now. Let's quickly get
Yeah.
the boxes
Crack
out.
on.
Yes,
Yeah.
because we're so busy.
We'll have to revisit that sort
Yeah.
of thing and have a play around. But you know, it's one of those things. If it works for you, great.
Yeah.
What we do works for us. So,
Yeah.
and that's what makes E-stim so
E-stim.
interesting because it's different for everybody.
Yeah,
And that's what makes giving advice so difficult.
Really
because you
difficult.
can't say put this electrode there, put this electrode there,
and it'll work.
these settings, and you're gonna redecorate the curtains. It might not work. It will for one person. It won't for everyone else. You've all got to experiment a little bit
Yeah.
and work out what works for you.
Yeah,
Because even these two, they do it differently.
Yeah.
Because they're different. We're all wired slightly different, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We like different things.
They definitely do it different for me. I think that's the meat and two veg, though.
well, I was gonna say you've got slightly different tackle.
Yeah. I'm not saying nothing. No. Fisherman. No, the truth's
Right,
out there.
okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
the truth's out there.
Yeah.
Shall we answer the last question?
Have we got another question?
Yeah.
One more.
How have we got so many this week?
I don't know.
Normally with like 2 or 3.
Right. How can I work out which wire is negative and positive? There is no
there isn't.
negative or positive.
No.
No.
That confuses a lot of people new to the scene.
Yeah.
Because they see a cable and it has 2 colours.
Yeah.
And we all know a battery has a positive and negative, and
Yeah.
it's electric,
Yeah.
so it must have a positive and negative. It doesn't.
No.
What is it? You always forget,
I
don't you?
always forget this. I know it, but I
I'll
don't
give you a
know the
clue.
word.
Alternating. Think raisins.
Current.
Current.
There you go. Well done. Alternating current.
Alternating current.
So you've got your 2 cables. They're both pos and they're both neg.
Yeah.
But at different times. They keep swapping over
And
many times a second.
yeah, I know it does. I just don't know the name.
It always catches
Yeah.
her out.
It
AC.
always catches me out. It's
Yeah.
like, oh.
So there is no pos, there is no neg. However, some control boxes, the 2B being one of them, it doesn't have a balanced output. So one will feel stronger than the other. You're
Right.
getting the same amount of energy, but it's delivered in a different way.
Yeah.
One will feel stronger than the other. So
Play around.
play around, swap the colours around, and remember which one went where.
Yeah.
Because even though it's AC, it can feel different. Plus, different electrodes with different sizes are going to
Will
give you
feel
different
different as well.
sensations. So you can use that to your advantage.
Yeah.
If you've got one electrode, it's really intense, and the other one's mild, and you've got an unbalanced control box, whip the cables around and use that to your advantage. So that's one thing you do. But yeah, there is no pos and neg. It's AC. Repeat after me.
AC.
Oh, you got it. Here you go. There you go. I'll ask you again in an hour, but
Come on. Say AC again.
I know what you've not done.
What?
Yeah, I know. I was thinking that.
I know. I'm not giving you
where is it? Where is it?
discount
He's lost his button.
code. Yay!
There it is. You got to wait till that finishes now.
I know. You like recycle
I was actually just thinking that a minute ago.
She's
when
like,
you were
she's been
talking.
tardy today.
It was like,
That's all in questions.
well, no, it's because she's been doing the questions and doing the Violet Bond display
We've frozen
stuff.
our chat again.
Oh no!
Definitely not all tracks work for me. Third time, like spikes.
Spikes.
She's been making spiky things.
She has.
And I've been running.
Yeah.
Forest.
I don't know if you've seen our ball crusher electrodes.
She's done one with spikes.
Somebody asked for one with spikes, which
That's
I
not good.
happily did.
Yeah, I know you did.
But when I went to bring you, I couldn't find the extra one that I made.
I don't know where it's gone.
So give them
Maybe,
a discount.
maybe in the bin. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just put Dragon up again. Hardstream uses it only to send the built-in patterns from the app. Ah, right. Well, that's different. But again, it's still connecting extra things up.
Yeah.
So we
They do
will
make
have a look at it.
whip
We'll have a look
now.
at it. And Gren, some people prefer big dogs. Some people like small dogs.
Yeah.
And then there are those monsters who don't appreciate dogs at all.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. I like all dogs.
Same
Dogs are
here.
nice.
At the moment, I prefer small dogs because I can actually physically walk them.
Yeah.
And it doesn't hurt when they sit on my lap.
Yeah.
Or on my shoulder, or on my head.
Yeah, which does happen with these two.
Which,
Yeah, it does.
with Ollie, happens frequently.
Anyway, should we do a drum roll for her?
Yeah, go on then.
Oh,
Whoop,
you,
whoop, didn't
Do
I?
it again.
you cocked that up. You got to press and hold it.
I did.
Well, you didn't hold it long enough, did you?
Right. Whoop, whoop.
Not sure you got the whoop whoop.
No,
you
I
filled
said-
in.
I
It
filled
sounded
in.
quiet.
So this is live stream 85.
I can see how you did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to go, next week, Livestream 86, but it won't be.
No, it won't
I'm going
be.
to keep you on your toes.
Apparently you can use Hardstim
Locally-
locally to just send patterns to your box that are different to your box's built.
Well, that sounds interesting.
Yeah.
Can you compose different patterns in Hardstym? That's the question.
I've used other online
Yeah.
apps to do something
Electron,
similar,
which is audio.
but I've not used
No,
Hardstim.
we'll have to have a look at that.
But
There's
yeah.
so many things that we need to
Yeah.
look at, and it's getting the
But
time.
it's finding the time because we're always busy doing stuff.
Thank you, Dragon, for that clarification.
Yeah.
So yeah, that discount code before she goes and wipes it off the screen forever. That's valid 48 hours from today in all our 3 channels. Although the Sex Machine review one, we're pointing all the traffic to E-stim Emporium.
Yeah.
That's our main
Yeah.
thing.
So
we're
basically-
focusing on now.
The discount will be in all our shops.
Yep, including
So
eBay.
eBay, E-stim Emporium.
Until
And
midnight
Sex Machine
Monday.
reviews.
Yeah.
Use it or lose it.
Yeah.
And if you are sharing links to our electrodes, if we could share the ones to E-stim Emporium, that helps us out because that's what we're trying to grow
Yeah.
and work with, and it's
Well,
easier for us to use
But
that
any,
than
but
the other
any
system.
links are more
Yeah,
than
everything
welcome.
helps.
Yeah.
So that's good. Let me refresh the chart. Ooh, we're up to date. How does that work?
Date.
Well, the thing is, we've also found that E-stim Emporium, we've got better other ways to pay
Yes.
Yeah.
and things like
Yeah,
that.
there's-
So,
well, yeah, you can use cards on that. Whereas
so
Equid,
we've-
it's PayPal only.
yeah.
And
So
some people don't pay like PayPal.
yeah.
Where's my? I'm going to do my like and subscribe thing again.
Come on, do it.
Down there.
Let's
That thing.
do it.
Maybe we added some value.
Wow.
Maybe.
Maybe we showed something that some people didn't know.
Yeah.
Or maybe we just sucked eggs for the last 45 minutes.
I don't know, because we did have a love at some point.
Yeah,
so
that's
that
before
as
we
well.
started though, wasn't it?
No, we had another one.
Wow.
I saw the little hearts
Did
go
you?
up on the
Yeah.
chart.
I missed that
Yeah.
because I'm always scanning this lot.
No, I
that's
think
good.
you were chasing Ollie for something.
That's
Yeah.
normal. I've done a lot of that today.
We've done a lot
So-
of that today.
Hopefully you found that interesting.
Yeah.
With the Violet One stuff. I love Violet Ones.
I do.
I love me E-stim. Don't get me wrong, but if I'm going to a club or I'm going to be demonstrating something to a group of people, it's so much more fun using this than E-stim because you can see it, you can hear it, you can smell it. Whereas E-stim, it's all internal.
Is Sparks finished now?
Yes, but there used to be an event in the Midlands called
It's a shame.
Sparks, which was a Violet Wand event, but that's closed down now. They're looking for a new venue.
So we're hoping soon
If
they find
if
one.
they can sort something out, we'll let everyone know on here. So
Yeah.
anyone in the UK at least.
Because
Yeah,
we'll
if
be
you're
going.
interested
Yeah.
and you don't want to go to BBB,
BBB, yeah.
then it might be another option to
Yeah.
go and
Yeah, I'm
experience
with
a
Dragon.
little
I
bit.
find Violet Ones fascinating.
Yeah, they're
The
fantastic.
E-stim box, it does make some noises. Yeah, some of them will get a little whine from the
Yeah.
Transformers. I also get squeals and shouts sometimes when I wire her up. That's quite fun.
But they're not usually from the box.
No, it's a result of the box.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, some boxes are really quiet. Some have a whine.
We just got another love.
Have we?
Aww.
You lot are great.
Yeah,
you lot can come again. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You keep using E-stim, you probably will.
We would as well.
Thank you very much. I'm here all week. I am normally.
Yeah.
Emma's on the screen. Good night. That's the well-behaved dog.
Yeah, well,
That's
she
our
wasn't
old dog.
today.
No, well, like she was getting led astray by the teenager.
Yeah.
Hopefully you enjoyed that. Hopefully you found something interesting.
Yeah.
Thank you for the little hearty love things. Like and subscribe and do all that YouTube stuff, because that helps us grow that number,
Yeah.
which you can't see because it's behind me, but that's slowly going up, so we're doing something right. And hopefully we'll see you all next week.
Yeah, if you've got any questions, please give us a shout.
Yeah.
Or you want your toy bag to be shown on here? We can
That's
just
a
push
much
your toy
more-
bag.
Yeah.
That's a much better way than me saying show us your tackle. So yeah, if you want us to show pictures of your stuff,
Yeah.
send them our way.
Yeah.
Plus we're nosy.
We are
to see what
nosy,
you-
and everyone's nosy, isn't they?
Yeah.
You all want to know what people have got because it gives you ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's good. So thank you all. Have a great week.
Happy stimming.
Happy stimming. Stay safe. Play safe.
Don't do anything we won't do.
And thanks for the lovely comments on here as well.
Yes. Thank you all. Bye.
Bye.
Catch you next week.